Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
I'm Dana.
And this is Body Double.
It sure is.
Rated R. Running time is an hour, 54 minutes. Released October 26th, 1984.
In time for Halloween.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it your birthday? Did you say
It's my birthday month. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a Halloween movie. I'm sorry, I picked it too early. My bad.
It's okay. I don't think that's why I'm mad at you about picking this movie.
Directed by Brian DePalma, shortly after directing what?
Scarface.
Yes, that's right.
I'm so disappointed
So
in
we've
him.
recently done his top four, which was Body Double, Dress to Kill, The Untouchables, and Snake Eyes.
Not Carrie, huh? Interesting.
Wait, his top four doesn't have Scarface in it?
No.
Oh.
So I put a list of movies together that why weren't any of these in there? You know, like Phantom of the Paradise, 1974. Also in 1976, Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie's one of his best.
And then you had 1980s Dress to Kill, 1981 John Travolta, Blowout. Nancy Allen, right?
Yep.
Is that Nancy Allen?
Where,
right?
is that where he's making a movie recording the sounds of a girl screaming?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
And they catch the accident on the...
And use that scream,
yeah.
Spoiler alert, he did the Frankie Goes to Hollywood Relax Body Double version video, because that was a separate video that was made for MTV.
I don't remember that.
But he didn't do the actual MTV
MTV
video.
had one, but this was released as a second video to MTV. It played. Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually a video that was on MTV.
I don't think it played that often. Maybe
I don't
once or
remember
so.
seeing it, yeah.
He also did Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark video.
Oh, okay.
Is that the one with Courtney
Isn't he
Cox?
just on stage? Like,
That's the Courtney
Yeah.
Cox
Yeah, it's Courtney
one,
Cox
right?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brian DePalma is famous for bringing her on stage then, yeah.
Okay.
He did 1986. He did Wise Guys.
Pacino and...
87. He did The Untouchables.
Joe... What the fuck's his name? Wise Guys.
Joe, but the guy from the movie we saw that I didn't like.
Piscopo. Thank you. Piscopo.
I let him hurt. I let him hurt a little bit. I wanted his brain.
I knew it was a pig.
I would have not gotten it.
I was waiting, and I was like, Dana, I figured Dana was going to get it, so I wanted to make sure
I was like, that movie I didn't like.
1987's The Untouchables. That's a
Great movie. Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Great movie.
1989, one of my favorite war movies, Casualties of War.
Great movie
Love that
also.
movie. Michael J. Fox.
Yep.
I never saw that one.
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, yeah.
1990s, Bonfire, The Vanities. 1992, John Lithgow, Raising Cain. 1993, Carlito's Way.
Great movie also.
1996, Mission Impossible.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
The first Mission Impossible is great.
Never saw that one either.
So he actually has a really good,
He's got a great resume. Yeah.
great resume. Because I was
Except
actually
for
thinking,
this.
well, I was thinking today as I was thinking on this movie, I was like, why do we, like, when I think of Brian DePalma, I put him in the same category as Coppola and Spielberg and Scorsese and those guys that were the new Hollywood guys that all came from.
Yeah.
Like Brian DePalma helped George Lucas on Star Wars.
He was
like
his friend. He was
wrote,
one of their buddies in Spielberg. Those guys that were
He
on
wrote the opening crawl to Star Wars or something like that. Like, they're all connected. I'm like, Brian DePalma, like, all right, he did Scarface, no problem, but then he did this and he did Carrie. Okay, but why did we think of it? But you listed all those other movies that he did that,
And there's a lot
he
of
deserves to
good
be.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Steam.
you're going to have some stinkers, I
course
think,
you
every
are.
now- especially in a career that long.
And
Yeah.
this,
You know,
I
this
agree,
movie,
you're right.
like, was a passion project. You could tell he was a huge Alfred Hitchcock fan, and he's like, I want to make my own Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Rear Window, that's basically what it is.
Rear
right?
Window
Yeah.
and Vertigo, too, yeah.
Yep. IMDb description: a young actor's obsession with spying on a beautiful woman who lives nearby leads to a baffling series of events with drastic consequences.
I don't know even who the name of the main guy is.
Jake.
Craig Wasson plays Jake.
Okay,
yes.
I don't even know him. I don't know what he's ever been in before, but
I'll give you a couple
the
things.
second I saw him this time watching, I'm like, so I guess they couldn't have gotten Bill Maher.
I said the same thing.
I was like, this guy
I was
looks
like,
just
this is
like
Bill Maher. Except
You don't
maybe a
want
little
Bill
taller.
Maher. You do not want Bill Maher as your leading actor in a movie.
No.
Before we get into the cast, I got a few taglines for you. A seduction, a mystery, a murder. Then you got Brian DePalma, the modern master of suspense, invites you to witness a seduction, a mystery, a murder. So that one's a little longer. But then, do you like to watch?
That's the best one, though, I think, so far.
And you can't believe everything you see. Now, Craig Wasson, we just mentioned, played Jake. You said you don't know him from anything, so I'll shoot his top 4 out to you. He was
Maybe
in
Dana does. I just said that.
Do you know?
I don't think so, no.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, he's in.
Okay. I don't know him
I've
from
seen
that,
that.
but yeah.
I don't
Body
know.
Double made his top 4.
Mm-hmm.
4 Friends. And then Malcolm X. I know he wasn't the titular character.
He was not.
He was not the titular
Malcolm X
character
in
in
that.
that one, yes. I just wanted to say titular.
Titular.
I even looked it up today on...
To make sure the context is right
I, went
that
to
you're
hit, I
using.
even hit the little speaker thing so you could hear how it said, and it was titular. So I'm
Titular,
saying
yeah.
that correctly.
You didn't want to say like tit alert or something
Yes.
like that?
Up next, she comes in. If you don't really see her in the beginning, she's really an hour and 12 minutes into
Yes.
this movie.
I
when you
forgot to
first
actually
see her.
check that out because I thought the same thing. Damn.
It's right there by yeah.
Kick it this way.
Melanie Griffith. She plays Holly Body. This is our first Melanie Griffith movie, right?
I think this is her first movie, right?
I looked it up. She had like 20 credits before this movie.
Did she really? Oh.
I don't know why she needed to do this movie. But nothing big, but she had obviously...
Do you know who her
herself.
mom is?
I know who she's the mother of, but I don't know who her mom
Do
is.
you know who her mom is?
Is her mom Tippi Hedren?
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
Oh, okay.
And did you know that Melanie Griffith had a pet lion?
Did she?
Yes.
She's lucky.
And
Tippi Hedren's the woman,
There's
the birds.
Yeah.
with,
There's pictures of
Alfred
Tippi
Hitchcock.
Hedren in her backyard in the pool, and the lion's like right there.
Yeah.
Like, and she's in the lion's like, and she's
Like a
pet-
She had it as a
Full-grown?
child
Yes,
when
yeah.
when Melanie was a child, or
and
Melanie had it
as
as
she
an
grew
adult?
up, as a kid.
okay.
Yeah, it's insane.
That
There's
seems
shit-
like a dangerous animal to have as a pet.
Yeah, right.
try and get Melanie's top 4. I'm gonna see if I can find
I
it.
have to. Working Girls is in there
Yeah.
because that was the
Working
first
Girl
thing she
is
got
in there,
A lot
yes.
of notice for.
There was a movie in the early 90s that I loved, or maybe mid 90s, called Milk Money, that she was in with Ed
I remember that movie.
Harris.
Ed
It's
Harris.
not. It's
You know
not
what I'm
in
talking
their
about?
top.
They have,
He's bald.
Yeah,
He's,
yeah.
He was in a lot of stuff.
yeah, she was a hooker maybe, and Ed Harris's son was trying to get her to go on a date with his widowed father or something like that. I just loved the movie because she was so pretty in it. First of all, she was like gorgeous in this movie.
I'm not a
But
big fan of hers. Like I don't like her.
I didn't think
look.
she looked good in this
Maybe
movie.
it's this movie that she did not look good in, but
Now her face doesn't look like that
well,
anymore.
because she's
was in
65 years old.
Yeah.
And she's probably had
She has.
10,000 facelifts.
Is it biting her leg?
Yeah, it's biting her leg.
Let's just
The
play.
lion is bite. Well, it's a play bite.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
just
That's what I'm saying. It's play by, but still.
Lily bites me, and I'm like, ow! And Lily weighs 20 pounds.
No.
Here you go. Look at that. That is scary.
That is
jealous.
child abuse right there. Having a lion in your backyard.
That's Tippi Hedren in the background.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow.
All right, so what else did you say?
Milk
Working
Money?
Girl, you got in there. Milk Money wasn't
She
in
was
there.
in a movie called Wild Things.
No, you're thinking Something Wild? Because that's the
That's
movie
her-
she's in.
Something Wild.
Yeah.
Where she has like short black hair,
Yeah.
kind of like that girl up there.
That's Madeline Kahn.
Madeline Kahn. Sorry, I couldn't think of her name. I know it's from
Are
Clue.
you kidding me? Andy, please.
That girl.
I couldn't think of her name in the moment. I knew it was from Clue.
Flames, fire, burning. You could have
good
said
movie.
Mrs. White.
Mrs. White?
Mrs. White.
Oh, yeah. Well, honestly, I forgot what color she was. So
Well, she's in black, so obviously Mrs. White.
Clearly.
I don't see colors.
I knew she
And
wasn't
Clue, you need
Colonel
colors.
Mustard. So
Almost.
Body Double and Mulholland Falls are the
I
other
don't think I
things
ever
in here.
saw that.
I've heard of Mulholland
heard of it, but I
Drive.
don't
I don't know
know
about
what it is.
Mulholland
Yeah,
Falls.
that's right.
I don't know.
Playing Sam was Greg with 2 G's at the end, so 3 G's actually. Greg Henry.
I know him from something.
I know what I think you know him from.
I'm going to look at Dana while I say this. He is Peter Quill's
Yeah.
grandfather in all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy
I know him
movies.
in 2 other things
Oh, do
that he
you?
was in
Really?
a
Let's
lot
see.
of.
That's in his top 4.
Well, these I doubt it, but he was in many episodes of Gilmore Girls. He was Mitch Huntsberger,
All right.
and he was in Scandal. A lot of
Scandal is in.
Is it?
How many
Okay.
episodes of Scandal did he do?
Maybe 25.
Is that a show? I don't even know.
Yeah, Scandal show. It's a really good show. It was a really good
102.
show.
He did 23 of the 124 episodes. Yes.
He was in like a season
Yeah.
situation.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know that was a show.
Yeah, it's a really good show. You wouldn't like it, but I love it.
No, I'm sure I would not.
Playing playing Gloria was Deborah Shelton. She was an ex-porn star.
Oh, she was
Or
also?
She
I knew
did
that
porn.
I knew they had
Oh.
other porn stars in this movie.
Yeah.
clearly they had other porn stars.
I was looking for
So her
Stormy
top
Daniels.
4 had Body Double, Sins of the Night, Silk Degrees, and Nemesis. Obviously, none of these movies
No.
you've ever heard of. So
Dana has. Dana's like sitting over here. Oh, Nemesis. I love that one.
She was in 35 episodes of.
That's not Star Trek Nemesis, right?
this was weird because up next was the person playing Jim McLean was Guy Boyd.
Jim McLean was who?
The cop, maybe? The detective?
Oh yeah, the cop. Okay.
All right. So, no, I thought this was the African American guy on set.
Maybe.
Might have been him.
What's his name?
Or no, I'm thinking of. Sorry. Excuse me. Thinking of
I was like, what African
Thinking of Late
American?
Night with the Devil.
Oh, my God.
I was like, there was no African American guy in this set.
Apologies.
There actually
I got
was.
it
That was
confused.
Dennis Franz.
Because it was on set. They were on a
Yeah,
movie
both of
set.
them
This
were
was
on
on a
sets,
TV
yeah.
set, so I got confused.
Yeah.
But he has 135 acting credits, but only a top 3. It was weird. I didn't
Oh.
understand it. There was only 3.
Was Body
the fourth
Double
one
in?
was blank. There was like nothing there.
He
So
went in there
weird.
and said, I do not want to be recognized.
I
for any
even
shit
I even
did."
closed it out and went back in just to make sure like maybe it didn't load or
Yeah.
something, you know. But Foxcatcher, Taking Chance, and Streamers.
So Body
Was that
Double doesn't even make
Foxcatcher?
it.
Recent?
Foxcatcher was Steve Carell.
Yeah,
who was the wrestling
wrestling.
coach in Delaware.
Yeah.
When
know that
he killed somebody, I believe.
He played a DuPont. It was about the DuPont family,
was it?
It was
right?
a DuPont murder.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it was, yeah.
I don't know that one.
Dennis Franz played Ruben.
Yes, he did.
Looking just as old as he always is.
He
one
just
of
had
those
a little
guys
more
that
hair.
always look the same.
Just had a
you know?
little more hair, yep.
Same mustache.
This is our first Dennis Franz flick. Let's see if we can get his top 4.
NYPD Blue is the only thing I
How
could
many
mention.
episodes of NYPD Blue did Dennis Franz?
Well, he
I
did
never
them all,
watched
right?
it.
He was
I'm
in
gonna
all
assume
of
he was
them.
in all of them. I don't know, 150. I don't even know how
I'm
long
gonna say
it was
like
on.
that's like one of those 10-year shows. Is that 240
Was it 10
or
years?
something like
Damn.
He was in all 261 episodes
that?
Jesus.
Damn, I
of
undercut it.
NYPD Blue, yeah.
I didn't know it was on that long.
The only other thing I really know Dennis Franz from is he was in Die Hard 2.
He played Carmine
Oh.
in Die Hard
Yeah.
2, yes. Also in Dress to Kill and City of Angels.
Okay.
Playing Corso, excuse me, Al Israel.
Who was that?
You may remember him from a movie we just did, Hector the Toad in Scarface.
Okay.
But what was he in this?
I don't remember what he was in this. Corso.
Hector the Toad in Scarface.
That's the only thing I put him down for because he was also
Yeah.
in Carlito's Way.
Oh, so he's a DePalma guy.
Yeah.
He likes him.
But there were no other main people
No.
that he could be. So
He's not Holly Johnson. Right?
Yeah.
Unless he was the bartender.
We'll skip over him for now. So
Yeah.
Douglas Warhit was playing the video salesman.
oh,
Okay.
And you know,
That guy got-
we just did him
got a
recently.
credit?
Well, we just did him recently.
We did?
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him.
He's his friend Bemis and Christine. He's Arnie's
Oh.
friend.
Oh, I didn't
Wow.
watch Christine.
Okay.
He's the one that gets. He starts being evil towards Arnie. Starts being like mean towards
Okay.
him and everything.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
But he was also
Wow,
in.
really?
He was also in Beverly Hills Cop. He was the bonded warehouse clerk number 2 in Beverly Hills Cop.
Number 2. My agent said I should be the bonded clerk number 1. Thank you.
She Barbara Crampton was playing Carol, and that was Jake's ex-wife. That he opens the door and she's having
Oh,
sex.
So she had no scenes with
Her
clothes
first
on
scene
in
was
this
just
movie.
her having sex. Yeah.
I mean, like, really having sex.
Yeah.
That might have been a porno being filmed right there. Dana hates this movie because of
Yeah.
that scene.
We know her from things like From Beyond, Reanimator, You're Next, and We Are Still Here. Nah.
I've seen Reanimator, but I don't remember her from that.
Up next was playing Sid Goldberg was Monty Landis. We do know him from a few things.
Goldberg. Okay.
We know him as we've done Yellowbeard. He was a prison guard in Yellowbeard.
Okay.
He was a gravedigger in Young Frankenstein.
Oh, she's a...
And he played Mario at the Magic Shop in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh.
Wow. Wow, he's had a great
Who
career.
is he in this?
He plays Sid Goldberg. I guess that's like some sort of manager or something with that name.
Oh, yeah.
Was that the guy that was teaching the acting class or something like that?
Or was that the guy who he called and he's like, "Where are you?" He got a call from like a manager was sitting on like a film set, told him he was fired.
Maybe that's him.
That might be him, yeah. That's another fun part of this show is trying to remember who
Yeah.
People were
was this movie.
in a movie that you don't care about anybody in the
I
cast.
mean, you
Yeah.
know, like the first, we know the first
Yeah.
5 to 6.
I still have one more cast member they haven't hit, so
I got a few here.
Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
And when you say his name, I might not even know that you're saying his name until I know what he's from.
The TV director was Rod Loomis. He was also Freud in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh.
And he was Zed in 1982's Beastmaster.
Previous episode. So he was Sigmund Freud from Bill and Ted.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Up next, we had Brinky Stevens. She was girl in bathroom number 3.
Oh.
And I put her on here because we had her in a recent movie.
Girl in bathroom. Is that the one
We
that
did
was
this
like
movie in
molesting
1982. She played Linda in the Slumber Party Massacre.
So was she the body double?
That was
for
a
the
classic,
girl?
yeah.
Like in the credits at the end of the movie where they body doubled the girl in that he was like biting into in the tub.
She
in
could
the
have been
shower.
one of those
Was she the
girls,
one that like actually showed her boobs?
But there's also the bathroom scene.
Yeah, she does show her breasts. Yes.
Yeah, she was in the bathroom scene when they were making the music video.
Yes.
So there were girls in the bathroom.
Right,
She could have been one of them.
Up next, this is the person
You
I
said
think Andy was
boobs, and I
talking
just got
about.
confused. Then.
Yeah.
You said boobs, I was like, I don't even know what Dave's talking about
This is
anymore.
the other person I think you know. Stephen Bauer played the assistant director on Holly Does Hollywood.
I did not even see him in
Did
this,
you know
but I know
him?
who Stephen Bauer is.
It's
Stephen
Manny.
Bauer.
He's Manny from Scarface.
He's his best friend. Was he in this movie? I honestly didn't even see him.
He was the
Wait,
assistant
he was
director.
in
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, he's the assistant director when they're on the porn set. Holly Does Hollywood.
Wow,
Oh.
I did not see him in this.
When,
Me either.
when Melanie Griffith's doing that movie and there's the director.
Yeah.
That's him. It's real quick.
From the guy from Scarface.
It's an
who-
uncredited cameo.
the one
was
that
the second-
marries
his sister,
Mary
right?
Elizabeth
It's an
Nestor
uncredited
and
cameo.
Antonio Gina,
Huh.
whatever her name is.
Okay.
Along with Holly Johnson. She's the singing nightclub doorman.
Holly Johnson. That's
That's
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. That was also an uncredited cameo, but he was in the Black Mirror movie Bandersnatch.
Oh, really?
The
You know what?
soundtrack. He did the soundtrack.
I have
Oh,
never seen that. I kept
I haven't
trying
seen
to
that
watch
either.
because you have to watch it on like a phone or a tablet where you can choose your own.
Oh, I
adventure.
No, I watched it on my
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, but I always watched the
You could just use your remote on the
Yeah.
TV, no?
I don't think you could at the time.
At the time, you had to have an upgraded
You had to be able to
Roku or device.
click and do
Yeah.
shit like that. I
So it
just
just
never ended up
depended.
watching.
I haven't. I've watched all of Black Mirror. It's just I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
I did. We saw it when it came out.
There was a new season coming soon.
Yes.
I haven't seen the last season.
The last season had
Yeah, the
some
last
good
season
ones.
had stars like Miley Cyrus.
Oh, I saw the Miley Cyrus one.
I think that was the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything.
But I only
since
watched that one episode because I
Oh,
wanted
okay.
to watch it with Michelle, and I knew that was the only. I'm like, Miley Cyrus is in this, and she's like, all right, I'll watch that one.
Yeah.
So I never got away enough to watch
Yeah.
the rest.
Yeah,
of it.
sometimes the better ones were the ones where you didn't know anybody
Yeah.
in it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh no, there was new Black Mirror. Wasn't because and it was after the Miley Cyrus one because it had one with Josh Hartnett where he went up to space, and it was set in the 50s. They go to space, and the one with the girl from
Did you say Josh Hartnett? Did
Yeah.
you see that he's making a comeback?
and it started with
Did you
this.
see the new movie that's coming out, The Trap? It
Yes,
looks
it looks
so good.
It does.
If you put a picture in front of me with Josh Hartnett and some homeless guy that you met in Trenton, I would not be able to tell you which one's Josh Hartnett. I honestly have no
I
idea.
think
listen,
you
listen,
would.
listen, listen to this movie. This guy's he goes to a concert with his daughter.
That guy, you don't know him?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I know him.
So he goes to a concert with his daughter, and he says, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom. You all right?" She's like, "Yeah."
How old?
She's like 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he goes to
That's
the bathroom.
5.
He goes to the bathroom, and he's like, he looks outside, and he sees all these cops lined all up around the whole building. So he goes over to the
Concession
merchandise
stand, yeah.
area, and he calls the one guy over, and he's like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Hi." Blah, blah, blah. And they start talking, and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "What's all the cops out there?" He's like, "There's something's going on." He said, "I'm not supposed to tell anybody." And he's like, "What? He can tell me, man." He's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, it's a trap. There's a serial killer loose." And now they have cops at every building. They know they got him inside this building. He can't leave this building. He's inside here. We're going to get him. And he's like, "Oh,
And of
my
course,
God."
where's my daughter?
Yeah. Josh Hartnett's a serial killer.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the guy told him.
Yeah. So he's like shitting his pants like, I'm screwed. But I've been
You know
hearing
what? I think
there's
this is going to be another killer.
and I'm hearing there's some really good like things about this movie, so I want to see it
I
too.
can't wait.
Yeah.
I watched the trailer today to Trap.
Yeah, but who
watch the
did
trailer.
it? Because someone
I don't know if
well-known
anybody
big
did
did
it.
it. I have
don't know.
to see.
You look that up. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday, and I thought too that looked really good.
I was like, is that Josh Hartnett? And then it said 17 years since he made a movie or something like that. So I was like, it's Josh Hartnett.
I'm sure he's done stuff I've seen.
He was just recently in something, and it's going to drive me nuts. He was in a big movie.
Oh, that's what it's there for.
Oh, it's M. Night Shyamalan.
Ooh.
That's who it is. M. Night Shyamalan.
Dude, I went from a 90 to a 20 all of a sudden. I'm like, ah.
The premise is awesome.
Yeah, but all the premises are always awesome in his movies.
He was a lawyer in the... Oh my God. He was in Oppenheimer.
Everybody was in Oppenheimer.
Was he?
Yeah.
I think you were in Oppenheimer, Dana.
I was in Oppenheimer.
The Frankie Goes to Hollywood relax rock clip porno film sequence features penthouse pinup centerfold Lindsay Freeman, and adult film star actress Annette Haven. She was uncredited, and Cara Lott, and horror movie scream queen Brinky Stevens, who I mentioned earlier. But in the Frankie Goes to Hollywood porno film sequence, one of the S&M guys who carries Frankie's lead singer to the bar wears a very close approximation of Gene Simmons' Kiss outfit from the Love Gun era.
It's funny because I saw that whole scene the other night when I watched this movie, and the only other person I recognized in that scene was the other guy from Frankie Goes to Hollywood, the
Paul Rutherford
backup singer guy, and I saw him sitting at the bar. I'm like, it's the other guy from Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Was he the guy who looked like he could have been dressing up like
Freddie Mercury? Totally.
Okay.
Even back in the old days, he looked like Freddie.
Because
I'm like,
is that guy supposed to be Freddie
You know what that
Mercury?
song's about, right?
I assume I know what that song's about, but I didn't recognize that man as the singer. And I know I've seen the video all over MTV, but I didn't recognize him.
He's passed away since.
Has he?
really? Oh.
Somebody else in the band has passed since. He's still alive. I apologize to you. But Brian DePalma originally planned for this to be the first Hollywood film to boast unsimulated sex scenes.
The fuck is wrong with him, man? Like, why?
Wait, I'm not done. The studio thought differently.
I'm sure they did.
What do you mean by unsimulated?
He thought he was
going to do it for real? Oh.
Real sex scenes he was going to have. Yes.
Okay.
He's such a groundbreaker.
Yeah. Because porn wasn't around before it.
But he's going to make it a mainstream film. But you had
your grandmother could go see it in the theater.
Yeah.
What am I seeing?
Deep Throat would probably be the last one that was like that, right?
Was that mainstream?
I think it became partially mainstream. Maybe. That or that one, what's that one behind the green door or something? Right? Candace Bergen or something like that.
I mean, man, I don't know. I don't know.
Is that bad for a movie podcast that we don't know that kind of stuff?
I don't know what unsimulated compared to simulated means in the movie. I mean,
simulated obviously means fake, right?
I know when I'm seeing it what it is. I don't know what movie was the first one to not do it or do it. I
didn't know if that would be considered I think Behind the Green Door is considered a mainstream.
I'll tell you this much. Unsimulated means I'm seeing a penis, and it's only been the last 10 years I've seen them, and they're all over the place.
On HBO.
But they're usually not in anything. They're just
flopping around.
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, and they always do a close-up, and you're like, I don't want to freaking see that.
There is nothing sexy about a naked man. A penis is a gross thing, and it should be hidden. I am anti-penis. I swear to God. I am not judgmental of anybody that likes penises, but I do not like them.
The last time you saw a penis, you had to walk through the double doors in the movie.
Was there a penis in this movie?
You had to walk through the double doors at the when you went to the radio. Yeah.
No, unfortunately, every time I turn on the TV nowadays, it's like, and now this guy's naked for no reason.
Game of Thrones is classic for it, you know. So
yeah, a Hodor penis I'm okay with just because it's Hodor. He doesn't know any better.
Dennis Franz said he based his portrayal of Ruben the director on Brian DePalma.
Do you have any other? You never hit the other cast member, and I don't even actually know his name, but the black guy that was in he was the assistant director. He was the guy that helped him out, Jake out of the coffin and stuff like that. Yeah. He was Gummy from Fletch. He was the guy in Fletch that was actually he was bringing the drugs onto the beach that the Fat Sam was selling. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, hey, it's Gummy from Fletch. And that's all I know him from. If he was in anything else, I don't know what else.
Yeah, when he was in that having the panic attack in the coffin in that scene, looking like. It's funny because I don't know if you've ever seen any clips of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but one of the main vampires is Spike, who looks like that. He looked just like Jake
blonde
was dressed up blonde hair.
Yes,
he always said...
I've seen the movie.
Yeah. The joke in the TV show... Well, I don't think Spike was in the movie, but the joke...
Buffy's going to be at Chiller, too.
Not my Buffy. I'm sorry. The TV show is the elite Buffy to me, not the movie. But
excuse me.
Yes, I am a Buffy
Look
snob.
at that shit.
Yeah, I was just trying to be nice.
No one's ever said the TV version is better than the movie
The
version.
100% TV version is better than the movie.
With that Buffy.
Oh, absolutely. But it's also the same. It's Josh Whedon did both of them. So, which
That's
now
not a
he's
good-
been
yeah,
canceled. But this was good. But anyway, they always joke that Billy Idol stole his look from Spike on Buffy the Vampire Slayer because
Billy Idol was around
no,
in the fucking
in the
70s.
show, the vampire in the show was 200 years old. So
Okay.
that was always a joke. But anyway, that's what he looked like. He looked like he looked like Spike from Buffy.
Okay. So we already discussed that this movie is exactly Rear Window and Vertigo smashed together. In fact, there were parts in this movie where I was like, they didn't even change anything around except that now it's 1984 instead. They made it a little more R-rated. It was crazy
It's
how
a
much
very overdone trope. Like there's countless movies and TV shows where they've done this, even if it's just a single episode in a TV show. So I don't know in 1984 how many times it had been done up to that point. Because when did those movies come out? In the 60s?
late 50s,
yeah.
early 60s, yeah.
But there's a Kristen Bell did a spoof TV show called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. It's like
That was a TV show?
Yeah, it was on
Great
Netflix. I think it was it was a Netflix
That's
show.
like don't drink your gin and juice in the
Well, you're
hood.
doing
while-
your-
But it's
South
really
Central,
good.
whatever,
Like
yeah.
it was funny and it was really well done and it was just hilarious. She's a woman, she's going through a divorce, drinking wine every day, looking out her window and seeing all this stuff, and it was just like this, all the same things that happened and all the same things, but it's actually really funny.
So is it take off of this, or is it take off of Alfred
It's
Hitchcock?
just all of the above. Because there's also like The Woman on the Train that it was kind of a spoof on, and all these other movies.
Actually, shit, man, I forgot a cast member, and I had to look this up only because I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere, and you did not mention him, and I'll bring it up only because you did not mention him. He's a voice actor for the most part, and he did like The Land Before Time, that kid show
Yeah,
with
I
all
love that movie with Littlefoot.
Yep.
Makes me
Littlefoot.
cry.
So
And
Spike,
Ducky.
he was the Stegosaurus guy.
Aw.
He was the one that said, "Where's the cum shot?" I was like, I'm so glad that the guy that said that,
The guy that does
was doing all the
Ducky?
kid shows.
Oh no! Oh my god! One thing I did learn watching this, that I kind of knew before, but this really solidified it, is men are really fucking perverted. Like, what's wrong with you all?
Dana brought that
Why
up
do
today
you-
to me. She's
why
like,
are you the way you are? Explain.
we're all perverted. I'm a married man with kids. I'm happily married. But if my neighbor came over to me and said, my wife's going to be walking naked through the bedroom window tomorrow, I'll be like, I will be checking it. I'll do it. I'll check it out. I don't know why we are all like that, but
It just, yeah.
we're all fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And
So
I have a
you haven't watched
question.
any David Cronenberg movies yet, have you?
I don't know. What did he do that I might have watched?
David Cronenberg?
Yeah.
We did.
Like,
we
what's really-
did. Dreamscape. We done. Yeah.
I
No,
didn't
we did
see that.
Dreamscape this year. We didn't do.
We just did it.
yet.
We did a David Cronenberg movie. It was
What did we
Swamp
do?
Thing him?
I watched
Damn.
Infinity Pool is a newer movie with Mia Goth.
No, we
That's
definitely
his son, Brandon Cronenberg.
Oh, I think I did hear
I'm
that.
in love with Mia Goth.
Yeah, I know.
Just, I mean, even more. Every day I watch YouTube shorts of her
Yeah.
talking. Her voice.
Oh, Videodrome.
Her
That was
vo-
Videodrome.
Videodrome, yeah.
And he did the fly.
Oh.
He did the fly. Jeff Goldblum in the fly.
Okay.
Her voice.
Scanners.
She's from London. I
Yeah.
love her voice. And
Oh, she's British?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mia Goth.
She's Pearl, right?
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
she's married, but she's married to the same guy. She got divorced from and remarried him.
Oh my god, she's
Shia
like
LaBeouf.
no,
Get the
I
fuck
love
outta
Shia
here.
LaBeouf.
What?
He is a lunatic, and I
No
love
one's ever
him.
said those words
I
all
like
together.
him. He's been in so many good movies when he was younger. I really liked him.
I
And-
love Mia Goth, and I just wish he would leave her.
Don't
and
you
marry- she could be with me.
dislike her because she's married to him?
I know, but I like her that much. She's just, dude. Watch X, watch Pearl, watch the trailer for
Mm-hmm.
Maxine. This girl's amazing. She's amazing in Infinity Pool, man.
She is really good. I
Yeah.
had no idea she was British. First of all, she did a great job, and I like those two movies. I like them both.
Did you finish Pearl?
No, I didn't. I watched a little bit more of it. I still have a little bit to go.
Maxine trailer looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's 1980s.
Yes.
Oh.
I despise Dak Shepard, and I always said to Michelle, I Kristen Bell, in my mind, she loses like tons of points because she's married to him. I'm like, I can't respect her because she's married to an asshole like that.
Kristen
so
Bell.
I feel like in the same case here with like being married to Shia LaBeouf twice. Fuck her, dude.
I feel like
No,
I
just makes
feel
me think
bad
she's
for him.
wild, dude.
Yeah,
she's a wild girl.
I feel bad for him. I think he's got some mental issues.
They
and
have
had
a
a hard
kid
time.
together.
His mom named him Shyla.
I know.
That started. If
I thought it was
she named him-
Shia.
I thought it was Shia too.
I don't know what it is.
I thought he knew the full name.
If she had named him Jim, if she had just named him Jim, he would have been fine.
Jim Little Booth.
Okay, fine.
He's been tough to work with too. But then I saw on these deep dives I go on. I saw John Bernthal was talking about him. John Bernthal said he really, once you get to know him, you realize he's got there's just layers you got to get under.
Yeah,
and he had like
I
good
always
things
got
to
a
say about
feeling
him.
like when he was going through his troubles that he was just having troubles.
Yeah.
Unlike Dax Shepard,
And
who I
who knows
think
if
is
you-
a dick.
He might have been-
Shepard's just an unpleasant person.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that all the smartless guys love him and they talk about it. I'm like, oh, all you guys lose all sorts of points because of this. In fact, I was listening to Smartless Day with Larry David, and they brought up Jason Bateman's hair with the Knicks game the other day.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Jason
Oh, yeah,
Bateman
long
was a
hair, I saw it,
caveman.
Yeah,
and
he
Larry
did.
David was like, so, what's up with the hair there? And he's like, I'm apart in October. I got to grow my hair out. So October. It is fucking April now.
Maybe it's do you think it's going to be Teen Wolf 3?
No, it is not.
Damn.
He said it's a cop movie. And he's
No.
like, are you the good guy or the bad guy? He's like, I'd rather not talk about it now. So Jason Bateman's probably going to
the only way Team of Three would ever work is that it would have the Michael J. Fox and Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman?
Yeah.
One can hope. I do have a question though, because when he went to the video store and they took him into the back
Behind the closed
room,
doors.
they were like, "What do you want? We have beta, we have VHS, we have 1/2 and 3/4. What is 1/2 and
Like
3/4?
film.
That's film.
Oh, okay.
You would have to have a projector.
Oh.
You have to have the size projector to fit the.
I'm not-
It would be on a reel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
I realize I have so many notes about this movie, and I don't even know how to bring them up.
Well,
in
first,
pleasant
I have a couple
conversation
good ones here. I'm going to say sardines. I'm just bringing that
Oh
up
my
first.
god.
And then
What was sardines? I don't even
It's
remember
when
that.
he was doing his acting and he was like, "You're in a can of sardine," and he was getting claustrophobic.
Yeah.
there's I talked about how shitty that mall was that he was chasing that
Yeah.
girl
Oh,
around.
it looked like a high-end mall.
I mean, it was so
Escalators
shitty. It was
and
like there's
stuff
no
like
good
that.
stores there.
No.
Really.
And how do you change your panties when your thing's like
That's-
half open?
that
It's
is
like,
not the problem.
And you're trying panties on?
That is the problem.
You're allowed to do that?
Because if you do, say if you were to,
You gotta know your size by
you-
now.
Well, not only that, but you try them on over the ones you have on. You don't take them up and raw dog putting on a new pair. You don't do that. That's gross.
I'm sorry, as a man, I just buy mine by the bag. I'm just like, I'll take 10 new underwears,
Nobody
please.
tries them on. Not at that age. Maybe if you're going through a growth spurt, you're not sure. But even then, like you try on a bathing suit, yes, but you try it on over top of the underwear you already
Yeah.
Do you
have.
really?
Yes, because
A bathing suit?
yeah, because how many other women have tried that bathing
Well,
suit on?
I'm asking.
There's also like liners.
I've never tried on anything
Yeah.
in a store ever.
There's like a
because
hygienic
I'll just
liner
like,
in them that you take off when you get home. But
That's like when they put on, like
Yeah.
they try on shoes. You got to put those socks on. Or
Yeah,
those little
yeah,
socky-
yeah. Well,
yeah,
at least
those
if you-
horrible sock things.
Back in the old days when I didn't wear socks and I get new shoes, they're like, you have to put these on. These little
Oh,
booty
aren't they the
socks.
worst? They're
I
like
always wear
nylons.
socks. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing.
Now I've worn
Well, if
socks.
I had flip flops on, obviously as a girl, and you go in and you get those
Oh,
little
you know what?
cut off
I don't wear
nylons.
socks when I wear like sandals
Slides. Yeah.
or Crocs. Or
I'll
something
talk
like
real quick about the safe that was getting robbed.
that. Yeah.
The shit, how much shit was in there? It was like cheap jewelry. Every time they turned back, he was pulling the same
And
thing
that
out.
was her husband.
That was her
so
husband. He knew the combination.
Yeah,
what
why
did
was
he
he
need that
breaking- I mean, I get-
8-foot-long drill
He was
for?
trying to make it look like a robbery for sure. He was trying to make
yeah,
it
Talk
that's
about
a good
that
point.
drill in a little bit too, about how slow
was-
he was with that.
First of all, I was so confused when I first saw it. I was like, what the fuck is that? I was going to all kinds of places, considering the movie we were watching, and then it was a drill.
And you know what you could have done when it got unplugged? Just beat her over the head with it if you wanted to kill her. For
Yeah.
real.
You
could still
didn't-
stab her with it.
Yeah, you don't need to
because
like.
it was pointy. It had pointed ends.
You don't need to plug it back in.
It's funny because that scene, there was a scene in, and I don't know if they ripped it from that, but there was a scene in Community where Evil Abed is trying to cut Jeff's arm off with a saw,
Evil
but the cord was too short.
How about
So
when-
I don't know if he got it
I don't
from
know.
that
If
or
I don't know
what.
if this is the first time the cord's ever been too short
Yeah.
for a
When
power.
when Sam and Jake are first on the set of the movie and they're seeing all the naked woman, they it's like the first time they saw a naked woman. I was just like, why are they acting like this? It was so weird.
Well, this had a lot of like fast cuts where you just weren't sure.
Yeah.
Like it went like he walked into the producer's office. He's like, I want to get into porn or whatever, and he's like, all right, take your clothes off, and then. Bam!
Yeah,
You're
he's a
right
porn
to Frankie
star.
Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Just cut to Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and you watch the whole video, and you're just like, okay, is this like really happening, or is this like a video?
I'm not
really
I was
sure what's
so
up.
confused.
And
I
then
was really high too. I was like, what?
and then it, bam, cut to him coming in with his slick back hair. I wasn't even sure he was the same guy. He just sat down. He's like,
Yeah.
so I'm looking to cast a movie. I'm like, who's this fucking guy? I'm like, oh, that's our guy. I'm like, where
I
did he
sound
come
like if
from?
you got and did time pass because it was like he went from this
It was
timid,
like the same day. It was like the
Right?
same 10 minutes.
but he had a new persona within that day,
Yeah.
and he said take your clothes, which we never saw. But did he?
But then he came inside of
Yeah.
Melanie Griffith, and then like 5 minutes later was in her dressing room saying, with his hair going back, I'm actually a producer.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's never had another guy that banged her be like,
Get out of here!
Yeah, right.
Get out of here!
Walking around.
That's how her voice sounded. She
Yeah.
just like,
Well, that's
I
how
think
her
that's
voice
why I don't
always
like, I don't
sounds.
like her because of her voice, I
Yeah.
think.
my favorite line in this movie was like, "I'm not some stunt cock.
Yeah,
I'm an
dude,
actor."
Yeah.
I have stunt cock written in my notes. I was like, don't let me forget stunt
But
cock.
that's also a good line from Orgasmo because they keep calling out for a stunt cock in that. Have you ever seen Orgasmo, Dana?
Unfortunately,
That's
Unfortunately,
yes. I
That's a
dated a
great
guy, and
movie.
he loved that movie, so we saw it a number of times.
did you date Jason? Is there something I don't know about here? Does he quote? Did this guy quote basketball all the time too?
I don't
me.
think
I know.
basketball was out at
See,
the time I dated him.
basketball came out before Orgasmo.
It did.
Ooh, yes, it did.
No.
I loved the house that they were in though. That thing on the pillar.
That was
up
an
on
awesome
the top.
house.
I was
That
like-
was cool as
I
hell.
was like,
And they
did
went up on like the
like a chairlift or
chairlift?
a
Yeah.
Yeah, that
gondola or
was
something
very
like
cool.
that.
I
That
liked
was
how you
nuts.
opened the door where just like waved the key on the wall.
and there was nothing there, which they didn't have that technology
then.
then.
I know,
Now
but
you
like
have
that's
it.
the kind of technology we would see
Well,
now.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things about I actually laughed out loud in this movie when she came down after he brought her up to the house and said, "I've been staring at you through this window," and she's like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here." And she ran down the steps, and she's trying to get a ride, and she's in the middle of the road hitchhiking.
Oh my God.
And then those two cars went driving by her, and she's like, "Fuck you!" And
Horrific
she's here, boom,
crash.
and I'm like, "Did they just have an accident?" I'm like,
It sounded like a horrific, like he
but
went
then-
over a cliff.
But then they did, because that was
Yeah.
what was
Because she
closing
said,
the
"Then
whole
stop
road
the next
down."
part." She said, "There's a bad accident up there."
She
That
caused,
she caused.
She caused those guys to have an accident, which is also what caused her to get picked up by her. Well, I was going to say her ex-husband, not the guy that
Yeah.
hired her, but
the Indian.
the
As they
Indian.
refer
That
to
mask
him.
comes off.
This person. I can't. This
It's
movie's
like
so stupid.
the mask in like Scooby Doo is more.
Yeah.
And he had the fake grill and stuff.
But
I'm
even
like,
with
why?
that mask, you could tell it was him.
Yeah.
That mask did nothing to disguise the fact that that's who that was. And also when
Well,
he
she
first,
obviously knew him because that first time she comes home,
Well,
he
that-
sees her. Or
not only him, but Jake knew him. Jake
But-
should have in the tunnel. Jake should have known
Yeah.
that was his friend.
But in the first time he is spying on her and he sees,
Oh, you see his profile.
but
it's clearly his friend.
But she interacts with him.
Yes, she does.
And she obviously says, "Sam,"
Yeah.
or Vincent, or whatever the fuck his
Yeah.
real name is, "get the hell out of here," and he leaves.
yeah.
So when he grabbed the purse from her, she should have been like, "That's my husband," or whatever,
Yeah.
because she knew he was wearing that disguise.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You would definitely know your husband. And okay, so it's supposed to be Holly in the very beginning, right?
It's Holly during all the dancing.
Or
John's
Ms.
dancing.
Ms. Body.
Okay. But at one
Basically,
point,
it's Miss Body.
doesn't the husband interact with her, or is it
That's what I'm
when
saying.
it switched back?
It's when it's the actual wife.
Okay, so it
'cause
switched back to the wife at
first
that
time
point.
she's in danger in the room because he punched
like,
her and he's
punched
like
her.
bastard. He's like bastard, but
Yeah.
like he's dressed in the disguise.
Yeah.
He's trying to do something with the safe.
But he's not dressed as the Indian.
I think he is. He's got
'Cause
black
his-
hair. He's got a long ponytail.
Not at the first time. I thought it
think
was just
so,
in a hat and
because
a
if it's-
suit.
Because if it's not, then how does he not just recognize
Because she
it's
said,
him?
"My husband hit me." I don't think she knew her husband was dressing up as the Indian. I'm sorry to all the listeners, but that's what they called him in this movie.
Well,
Even though he looks
listen,
nothing like a Native American or an Indian.
I was going to say, no race is claiming him as their own,
No.
so no one's offended right now
He
when they said
wasn't
the Indian.
even
They're
Indian.
like, well, that must be the other one.
I
It's not
assume
me.
they mean Native American as Indian,
Yes.
but he did not look like a Native American. What, because he had long hair? I don't know.
And he was brownish, I guess.
He looked like
He
Timothy
looked like
B. Schmidt
Sloth.
from the Eagles. Porn star Annette Haven was originally cast for the role of Holly, but Columbia Pictures decided to turn her down when their executives saw what kind of movies she had been making. Annette Haven later stated that she was happy because of that, because she hadn't liked the script and hadn't liked to be in a film with gory violence.
Jesus.
So make a sex film, but she doesn't want to make a
There
gory
was one
violent
gory
movie.
scene, and it wasn't that
And it
gory.
wasn't even. It was not gory at all.
No.
You didn't even see it happen. You
And
saw the aftermath.
you just see the blood coming through the ceiling, But Barbara Crampton, this was her first nude and first film. So it was her first film and first nude scene. So
Who? Gloria?
Barbara, one in the very beginning, having sex his wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was just someone Brian DePalma picked up on the street and said, "Hey, I can make you a star."
So Tatum O'Neal, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Carrie Fisher all auditioned for the role of Holly, but they all turned it down. Brooke Shields was offered the role, but turned it down in order to study French literature at
Princeton.
Linda Hamilton turned down the role in order to prepare for her role in what?
Terminator?
That is correct.
Nice.
We do that this
I had to beat
year.
Andy. I never saw it.
She got naked in that too, so it wasn't a nudity thing. I'm just saying.
Brian De
Sorry.
Palma was
Carrie
not happy.
Fisher, that
Yeah.
would have been wild seeing Princess Leia naked. In fact, that would have bumped
Everybody
this movie
dreamed
up
of
like
it.
10 points.
Everybody dreamed about seeing her naked.
Yeah.
But Brian De Palma was not happy with the way that chase on the beach was filmed.
That chase on the beach was horrible.
Oh, really? I thought that was like the best
Oh
part
my
of the
god.
movie.
Well, first of all, when he's creeping around the tents and then he
Oh, that
peeks
was
out.
dumb. But
Come
when
on.
they actually started running for the tunnel and stuff like that,
Yeah, because I
was
thought
really
the
well done.
Indian guy, his running looked so fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought neither one of these men know how to run. Why didn't they get stunt doubles to do this run for either one of them?
It was a breakthrough film role for Melanie Griffith. She got nominated for a Golden Globe.
Did she really?
For this?
Because she is a terrible
For
actress.
best performance
Terrible.
by an actress in a supporting role in a motion picture.
Yeah, she's not good. Not at all. And this is not
agree.
her worst acting. Everything I've seen her in is her worst acting. But she got Antonio Banderas twice. She's another one of those people that
And
married
Don
the same
Johnson.
guy. Oh, no, she married Don Johnson.
So,
That's right, yeah.
Dennis Franz and Brian De Palma have done 5 movies together.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Can you guess any of them?
Well, you
I
said
don't-
Dress to Kill before, but that's the only
Dress
other
to
one.
Kill and Body Double are 2 of them.
Yeah.
Scarface.
He's in Scarface?
Scarface?
Jesus, I don't even remember him in Scarface.
The
Oh wait, was he one of the cops
I
questioning
think he might
him?
have been one of the. It was a smaller character, but I don't think
Okay.
it was
I
either.
don't remember him that.
The Fury, 1978,
I don't know that one.
and Blowout, 1981. Travolta.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then 1984 came and he never called him again. Well, Dennis Franz got too big. He's like, I'm going to play the fat cop in this movie.
What?
He's
For
set.
sure.
Yeah, 260 some episodes. He did every
Yeah.
episode. He's set.
How did he get her phone number? After he stalked her all day at the mall, watched her change her underwear, and then chased her down the beach, and she had to rescue him from the giant tunnel he was having a panic attack in. And then later he tries to call her. She didn't give him. She ran off. I was like, I can't do this. And she ran away. And then
After
he
they
was
were
trying to
making
call
out
her.
there on the beach. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't remember
She
that.
said, I can't do this here.
Yes, here. Meet me later.
Yeah.
She doesn't like tunnels
that
either.
whole entire scene, from the time he's driving and the landscaper guys are blocking the road and he sees the Indian
Yeah.
down the road and she's pulling out, to the time they make out, none of that matters.
Nope.
Because Sam should already have access to the house.
Yeah.
Why did he steal her pocketbook to get
Because
access to the house?
he was trying to make
That's
the
fine.
Indian. That's why. It's
That's
blame
fine,
on the
but
Indian and
if
not
he,
him.
If he had cut her off right then and stolen
Yeah.
her pocketbook, the same thing, everything would have played out exactly the same.
Yeah.
None of that, and that's
Yeah.
like 20 minutes of the movie where none of that needed to happen. The whole walking around the mall, and he is the worst stalker, man.
I mean, yeah, he was gawking and
Yeah.
just put everyone can see him. He's not even hiding behind a plant. Just flat out watching her.
What do I got here? Did you know Melanie Griffith was once married to Stephen Bauer?
I did not know
I didn't know that either, yeah. That's interesting. The movie was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award in 1984 for Brian DePalma for Worst Director, but he lost out to John Derek for Bolero.
Oh, I saw that too. Great Bo Derek movie. And by great, I mean terrible, but she's very naked in it.
I was like, it's a John Derek movie, so there's nudity in it. Yeah.
Also, the intruder is hiding, like, behind your folding chair. And she comes in, turns on the lights, and she doesn't see him. He's right there. That drove me nuts.
You know, the detective says to him, he's like, usually we suspect the husband, but blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Why? They would have found out that the husband is actually Sam, and then called him in Seattle, and he wouldn't have been in Seattle. He would have been in L.A.
Yeah.
Like, they could have solved this case in like a minute.
What's the other film that Brian DePalma and Melanie Griffith did together?
I don't know the answer to that.
The Bonfire of the Vanities in
I saw
1990.
That's like Tom Hanks and Bruce Willis. I remember that book was humongous at the time, and then the movie came out, and everybody was like,
Kurt Russell was considered to play Scully.
that would have been a much better movie with Kurt Russell. This guy was a drip. He was not a good looking guy, and
I agree.
Jake's name was Jake Scully.
Yeah.
Also, when he took her underwear out of the trash,
and then left it in his pocket the entire day.
why didn't he take it in the bag too? Like, wouldn't you just taken the whole bag instead of taking it out of there?
I've never stolen a woman's underwear
Yeah,
from the
please
cartage,
tell me,
but I probably would
Jason,
have
how about
not
in
taken
your
the bag.
experience?
But
Would you have taken the underwear from the bag or just taken the whole bag?
take the bag.
See, I would have just taken the underwear, because now the bag, like, I've evidence that, like, I want to get rid of as much. I can just cram it down in my
No,
pocket.
because the bag is. Then I could put other things in there too.
Yeah.
And I probably would have got hot. My hoodie would have went in
He's
there.
got a William Shatner autograph picture and some underwear, and who knows what else.
Did he smell them?
Did he smell them? Did he take them out of the garbage can and smell them?
I don't. That's
I
what
don't
No,
know.
he
I don't
took him out
remember
real quick and put him in the
Okay,
pocket.
I wasn't
Okay.
sure if he
People around.
smelled
So he
them.
didn't smell them.
Because
And then,
that's
then
like,
the cop takes him out of his pocket.
because usually people who steal underwear also smell them first.
They do
I
other
actually-
things with them
I have
too.
in my notes.
Yeah.
I'm like, do fancy bodegas let you try on the underwear? Sorry.
In more important, in fancy places, I would think they definitely wouldn't.
When Jake goes to a bar to drown his sorrows after discovering Carol's infidelity there in the beginning, Doug the bartender is wearing a Barney's Beanery t-shirt. Singer Janis Joplin ate her last meal at Barney's Beanery before overdosing in her hotel room in 1970.
So are you saying this movie caused her to commit suicide 16
No,
14
they're
years
doing
before?
an homage to when she did die from that.
All right. So, I this is all related to the mall scene where she's trying on the panties. So, the lady calls security and says there's a guy gawking at his wound. So, but then she comes out of the thing to buy the underwear. Never does she say, "Do you know that guy over there?"
Yeah.
There's a guy looking at you through the window,
Yeah.
and you should probably be looking out
She
for
called
that.
security though.
She called
But she
security,
didn't warn
but then when the woman
the
came up
woman.
to she's
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah,
"Hey,
yeah.
that guy's looking at you in the thing. Do you know him?"
Yeah.
No, nothing,
Yeah.
no warning to that.
Yeah, like, hey, be careful.
And that
Yeah.
was great when the elevator doors open and Indian, quote, air quote, Indian, try to get on, and all those like young girls
Yeah.
were there, and he's like, foiled curses, foiled again. And they're all like, "Did you see that guy?" Like, oh.
So to turn Greg Henry into that Indian, makeup applied to his face for 3.5 to 4 hours
Oh my
each
God.
application.
They should've
They
just
did
had
a
a-
horrible job.
For 3 hours?
I hope they never got another job because they
Yeah.
did not do a good
Why
job
did
in
they just
this
put
one.
like a Michael Myers mask on him? Just why did you
Yeah.
have to have that whole thing
Yeah.
going on?
Isn't it convenient though when a woman at the same time every night does a dance in front of her open window?
I thought
like
the
that's
same
very
thing.
convenient.
That's her masturbation
Yeah.
time.
But
Yeah.
they said it's like clockwork. He said
Yeah.
it's like clockwork.
That music was like weird.
And that's why you're
Yeah.
set up, like, you know already that Sam's involved from the beginning. You're like, why would he, like, point this out to him and
Yeah.
let him know?
And whose house was he was
He said he
house
was
sitting
house sitting for another guy.
So he said, "I need you to house sit for the guy I'm house sitting for." Right?
Yes.
I really love that.
Where did he
house.
say he was going to Seattle?
Yeah.
Right? He said he was
Yeah.
going to Seattle.
And I said in my notes, this movie shows you what happens when people have way too much time on their hands and no jobs because they have all that free time to just go to the mall during like a Tuesday afternoon and buy underwear and
Yeah.
stalk somebody. And
And then at one point he was sad and depressed, so he laid in the circular bed, rotating, watching porn.
as he was still like up behind his head, like there it is, there's porn again. But that's, and I was like, so he obviously sees Holly Body dancing in the video, and he's like, that's the same girl. there are no more conclusions I could have jumped to than that was the same girl. I've been like,
the dance was the same. She was doing the same thing, and he watched her enough to know the routine.
Are you telling me like?
And the tattoo on her butt.
Tattoo,
He had the same tattoo on her
She
butt.
saw the tattoo all the way from the in the
Yeah,
telescope.
they showed
he saw
it.
it.
They did
When
show it.
He sees it through the camera.
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
make
God.
a point at one point when he's looking through the I keep saying microscope, telescope.
I keep calling it a camera.
Show the tattoo on her butt.
Wow, I never picked up on
Except
that.
I didn't know it was Holly until
You
later
thought it was the
on,
wife, for sure,
and then
yeah.
I never put two and two together. That her name's Holly. She's got Holly tattooed on her
You're
ass.
like, oh, Holly body, I
Yeah,
get it now.
That was Holly tattooed on her.
Yeah, it was Holly.
I didn't even get that. I just thought it was some
I thought
random
it was a
thing.
cross when it was the woman.
Yeah, because it's
I
like it
thought
looks
was a cross.
Christmassy. It's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Is this a Christmas movie?
Never picked up on that. But I never like when he started realizing it was the same person. I'm like, come on, there's no way. Just watching some random infomercial on porn that you're gonna be jumping to the conclusion that
Oh my God,
that's really the person
Speaking
I was watching
of the
dancing.
infomercial on porn, when he's interviewing that woman and then they pan over and there's like an old man in a bathtub with her. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
And he was interviewing like it was a straight interview. He's like, so it's the first
But I
time he's
didn't
done
know she
hardcore
was in
porn.
a tub
But
or
then
he
he's
was
in
like,
the tub
he's
too.
in there too.
And he's like 90 years old interviewing her. That was actually pretty funny.
Every time the Indian's face popped up, it was funny because it was so obviously bad makeup, and just looking at him every time, I was just like, was he a burn victim? Because he almost looked like he could have been a burn victim. The way
he
his
had
terrible
skin was
makeup.
like, oh my
That
God.
was horrible makeup.
You know what? I have a lot of notes here, and I just don't even really care like going over
No.
them.
I got
It
one
was-
here I want to tell you, though. It was the first of a 3-picture deal at Columbia for Brian DePalma after his tremendous success with Scarface. However, this film was received so poorly that the studio canceled the other 2 films.
Rightly so.
But
They
this
should
is
have.
another one of those movies like Buckaroo Banzai last week that now it's a cult classic, and people have viewed this as a
Oh
different
my
movie.
God.
I mean, I get all the Hitchcock. I mean, I've seen Rear Window and Vertigo many times, 10 times
I've
each.
seen
And-
Johnny Depp even made a movie that's very similar to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. He's
It's
in the
called
woods.
Secret Window, I think.
Yeah,
or something.
he's like in the woods by
That
himself.
was a Stephen King book, and
Oh,
that
was
is
it?
similar to this
Yeah.
as well. But I don't know. This movie just shit all over Hitchcock. I didn't think it was an homage. I almost thought
I
it was
agree.
like a parody. It was High Anxiety. High Anxiety was a better parody movie of Alfred Hitchcock than this movie was. And I really thought after watching this, I was like, Brian DePalma, like, why do we like him so much? Well, you listed all those other movies. I'm like, oh, okay.
I
He's
gave you
done,
the list
he's done a
again,
lot
yeah.
of great movies.
Yeah.
This is not one of them. This is
You
not.
gotta have a sticker like Sly, stop or my mom will shoot.
But I watched this movie at least 10 times back in the old days, but
Well,
not,
we know why.
Not for the artistic
Yeah,
merit
you were
at all.
fast forwarding through some of those boring parts.
You want
I was probably watching on. Oh, you want me to
you
go?
have anything in your notes that you want to give, or you said you didn't really? Is there anything?
I like the dog.
Yeah, but I guess
was rooting for the
you
dog.
could tell the dog was his because the dog didn't attack
It didn't
him.
attack him.
It attacked
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
But the
but
cop
then-
says to him, he's like, "Oh shit, I had it." In my book, that's a pervert and a sex offender.
Yes.
And this is the way he's talking to
That
him.
cop was and you know what? He freaking deserved it. He was a sex offender.
Yeah.
He was a pervert.
How about those 2 guys jogging that he
Okay,
ran up to?
so here's the thing. The 2 guys jogging. He
They had
takes
headphones
them,
on. He couldn't hear them.
Yeah.
Those headphones, you can hear everything.
Yeah.
Because they don't even go in
Yeah.
your ear; they're
No,
just bobbing
and
on
they're
top of
the
your
size
ear.
of a quarter. But they they go into the house with him. When the drill bit, the 8-foot-long drill bit, comes through the ceiling,
Yeah.
and yet the cops still think he's the one who did it. Did those 2 guys just run
Well,
off?
they said you have an alibi. He's
Yeah.
like, he's like, I want to
So
blame
we're
you,
still
but you
trying
have-
to get you.
He's like, I
Okay.
want to blame you, but we have an alibi. So he was
Okay,
clear.
good,
The
yeah.
cop said those other
Yeah.
guys stuck around. I'm glad I looked through my notes because I wanted to point out the fact that where is it? Oh, he was really good at scaling fences because he scaled the fence into her place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The security gate that was like 10 feet tall. And then when they went to the reservoir, how he knew they were going there because he was running and they were driving. And he's just like, I'm scaling this chain link fence.
Yeah.
He went right up it like Spider-Man. I'm
He
like, look
did.
at that guy. I'm like, look at him. And that was
He's
so
like a
good.
koala bear.
So they're in traffic. The accidents happened. He's like 2 or 3 cars behind the Indian, and Melanie Griffith, and he sees him pull the tire iron from behind him and smack her in the head. I'm like, there are
He's
cops.
killing her!
There are
He's
cops.
killing her! And then the
There are
car's
cops
going out,
all-
it's going out of the lane and everything. I'm like,
Not only did it just go out of the lane to turn around, it was exaggerated
Yep.
and it was drastic. Where any cop would have been like, "I think that's a bad guy."
something's up.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
calm down, buddy.
Why did you have to hit her then? You're stuck
Yeah.
in traffic. That's the last time you want to commit a murder. Like,
Yeah.
you wait now. If she's already gotten in the car with you and you're just like, I ain't never going to just drive down this
Yeah.
way. Because that's
Oh, wait, I know what I want to talk about. How deep was that hole?
No.
He was burying five people in
and
there.
He dug it in the time it took for him to catch up. So he dug that 18-foot hole in 10 minutes.
And then did you see how
And
much
it
dirt was
perfect.
outside of the hole?
It
There was like
perfectly
nothing outside
square.
of the hole.
But it
And-
was perfectly square.
Yeah.
And what's his connection to her? Throw her unconscious body in the reservoir and just
Yeah.
let nature take its course. That
Exactly,
body would have
yeah.
been 100 miles down the
Yeah.
reservoir. And
Yeah.
why he was digging that big grave made absolutely no sense, except for the fact that Jake
And if
had
you're
to
going to
fall
build a
into it.
grave,
Yeah,
if you're
fall into it.
digging a grave, it's like 2 feet. You get the body in there and then you put 2 feet on top of it. That's it.
Yeah.
Jason's obviously dug some graves.
Yeah, clearly.
He knows what
Check
mean-
Jason's backyard.
Come on now. Let's get to the scores.
They say that you put a dead dog or a dead animal on top of the body when you bury it because the body sniffing dogs will smell.
And then when
A
they
dog,
dig,
not a human.
but then when they,
They
dig,
dig,
they'll
they
find the
find
animal.
the
They're like, we
animal.
don't have to go further.
Yeah.
That's-
So you bury the body deep, you layer some
I take
dirt.
out Michelle, I am calling you
Yeah.
guys. I'm like, come over here and help me take care of this body because
More
you guys
like
know
when
what
Michelle
you're doing.
takes you out, I'm going to
Listen,
help her.
we're clear.
You're all gonna have to pick, you're all gonna have to come over and just pick my body up. They're like, I need like 10 people here to pick this fat
We're
ass up.
cleaners. You both have our number. Whoever gets there first.
Yeah,
Let's get some scores,
you know what?
kids.
I was really disappointed with this movie because I really
Did Michelle
thought
give you a score?
She didn't watch it.
Okay.
I watched it by myself because actually,
Because you were too embarrassed to watch it with the family?
you know what? Like I said, I've seen this movie before. I kind of knew
did
going
pick
in. I was
this.
like, Michelle will not like this movie. I was just like, I'm going to go downstairs, watch it by myself. So I watched it down here by myself. I'll never watch this again. This was dumb and not fun, and I gave it a 60 just because it was pretty shitty.
yeah.
I'm very close to your score, Andy. I gave it a 62. I thought this movie was better before watching it. I guess
Yeah.
I've seen this movie before, but I guess I didn't remember much of it, except it being Rear Window, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It didn't hold up for me. It's a 60. Yeah, 62.
Yeah.
I feel like I had in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, I remember. I picked it because I was like,
wonder
oh,
why you picked it, too.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh sure, it's a Brian DePalma movie. I remember liking it back in the day. I think I liked it for other reasons,
Yeah,
and
you
I
did.
like it for now.
Those reasons I understand, but
Well, when you're a teenage
Yeah.
boy, sure, I get it.
Yeah,
And it's the
teenage boy,
80s, there was no internet.
37-year-old man,
You couldn't,
I don't know.
Yeah.
you couldn't go on the internet and find that
you had
other
to find a
ways.
magazine in the woods.
Yeah.
No one does that anymore. I gotta get some porno magazines just drop in the woods for some
Yeah.
young kids.
Is
Yeah.
that things that
That's
guys
like we like
did
to
back
give-
then?
we like to
but
give-
we found magazines in the woods.
We like to pay it forward.
We found magazines in the woods one
Yeah.
time.
This is something I did not know about men culture.
I found magazines
So
before.
this is men culture? Is that a thing y'all do? Okay.
Sorry.
We don't do this.
We are all like any guy that says they're not disgusting, lying,
I know.
lying to you.
I-
And
I'm-
I've told
I'm-
Michelle that before. I'm
Why do you
like,
think
listen,
I'm gay?
I've
Come
told,
on. Don't you think I know this?
I've told Michelle that. I'm like, listen, I'm like, you might think I'm a nice guy. I'm like, I am not a nice guy. I'm like, we're all perverts. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, we're all
Yeah.
perverts, but we're sorry.
Many times Tara and I looked at each other and were like, what is wrong with men? Why are men like this?
And then you can look at me and we know the answer, but we're like, yeah.
That's
like,
why
yeah.
it's so funny. Listen, I don't want to get off the rails, but it's so funny when like you see men on the air confronting another pervert.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you do this? And you're like, you fucking probably did it last week. You know you did this shit.
Yeah.
All these preachers and everything that come out and say like they're so against this, they're against that, they're against porn, they're against gay,
Yeah.
and then they end up in a gay relationship,
Yeah.
and it's like, what are you doing? You know, it makes no sense.
I
If that's
know.
what you want to be, just be it.
Yeah. I know.
Stop like railing against it, and then you're actually that.
Yeah.
I don't understand
I
those
know.
people.
I know.
I just do
There's
not get it.
self-hatred. That's what it is.
Yes.
It's self-hatred.
Everybody,
That's hilarious.
everybody that heard
Well,
Donald
wait,
Trump.
we're gonna get even lower scores now. Wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So Tara and I watched this. I had not seen it before. I could tell from the trailer that it was a Rear Window, Vertigo type of movie, whatever. This movie was so stupid. I really did not like this
I
movie.
can't wait.
I gave it a 35.
Okay. You're
I
actually
will
like 20
never
points
watch
higher.
this.
I thought you were.
Never watch this movie again. Well, they did go to the trouble of making a movie, so that
Frankie Goes
accounts
to
for
Hollywood scene was
something.
fun. I like the Frankie Goes to Hollywood part.
Yes, I did actually really like that scene when they were like coming down the steps and he was singing and then he's laying on the bar.
They were originally going to do it in New York background. They
really?
chose LA. They changed it to LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
The house was cool.
Awesome. The whole neighborhood was really cool.
Yeah. Tara hated it. She gave it a 23.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Which is usually the opposite. She's usually in the 92 area. So
Yeah, not this time.
it would have been better if she gave it a 29. I reversed my score. Yeah.
that was a rough one this week. At least we got something fun coming up next. What's next, Andy?
So we're going to have Paul on for Muppets Take Manhattan next week.
Nice.
Yes,
nice.
that should be a lot of fun.
And then I get to pick the next one.
And then you're picking after that.
You want to know what it is?
You can wait till Splash if you want to tell us now.
I'll tell you now.
Okay.
The Repo Man.
Nice.
Oh, cool. I never saw
That's
it.
also another movie that, in my mind, it was a great movie, but
Great soundtrack, I remember, too.
I would have said Buckaroo Banzai and Body Double were movies in the 80s, and
I think I'm going to have a hit on this one.
Okay. Who's in it?
That's a good question.
It's a very good question. You just got me to go like,
I couldn't
Well,
tell
this
you.
isn't the movie where they're all being attacked by trucks, right?
Emilio Estevez is in it.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah, aren't they? Are they stuck
Howard
in a diner?
Dean Stanton, right? Or was it
Henry Dean Stanton?
Henry Dean Stanton.
Yes.
Come
Last
on.
Man Stanton.
How do you not? Yeah.
I couldn't think. I said Harry. I'm
Howard.
sorry.
Yeah. But wait. Are they trapped in a diner or are the cars attacking them?
Repo Man.
Are they being attacked by trucks that come to life?
No, I think you're thinking of either Duel or
Duel was a race car.
Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive.
Yes. That's a good movie.
That's a Stephen King directed movie.
Okay, then that's
a good movie.
The fact that you're
I read it
talking
being a
about
good
it,
bad
it's a
movie.
terrible movie.
That's what I meant. It's a good bad movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember seeing that when I was younger.
That's a movie that you probably give like a 90 to because you're like, oh yeah, this is a bunch of fun stupidity happening.
It's one of those ones I remember seeing a lot. It was always on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got some fun stuff coming up, I think.
Yeah, we're trying to split it up. We're trying to take the shitty ones when we don't have guests.
And then we'll have our summer cavalcade. Some of those movies will be coming up. And
Summer
then
what?
Cavalcade.
What's a cavalcade?
It's like a thing. It's a Western thing.
I've
Google
never
that.
heard this word before. How do you spell that?
CAVALCADE. You never heard that word before?
Jesus Christ. I would have gotten CAV and then had to
That's
stop
where I
and think.
stopped. CAV. What?
CAVACALDE.
That was still too
Cavalcade.
fast. You said it as fast the second time.
Andy, you give it to her this time.
CAV, Caval, AL.
AL, then CADE.
I'm just going to say it into my thing. Hold on.
I spelled it 9 times.
Cavalcade. You spelled it too fast.
It's like when someone gives
This
you
is
your number.
bonus.
Hey,
We're on bonus time.
call me back. 743-0735. I'm like, how am I supposed to get that number? Like, you just said seven numbers.
And then
in
listen to the
3
message. It's
seconds.
like 4-minute long message. Then the
And
number.
you can't get back to and then call me back. I said, fuck it, just get the number.
We're getting one number at a time.
It's a formal procession of people walking on horseback or riding in vehicles.
Wow, I wouldn't have known that was
That's
actually
fun,
the definition of it. I just always thought it was
Okay.
like a Western kind of thing where a lot of
Okay.
stuff happens all at once. But
Bonus time.
bonus time.
Dana's getting in a vocabulary lesson.
All right, so we got some fun things coming up and some fun guests as well, people. This has been the Exciting and New podcast. Download, rate, subscribe, review. Do all those fun things. Exciting and New podcast on all our socials. The Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. This has been the Exciting and New podcast. I am Jason.
Agonzo1 on Twitter, Agonzo1970 on Instagram. I'm Andy.
Dana Caps on TikTok, Dana Cap 77 on Instagram. I'm Dana.
Peace.